Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're digging into source material on a market that, well, it might sound specific, but it's really fundamental. The global dry granulation equipment market.
Absolutely. Foundational is the right word.
Our goal here is to pull out the key insights, maybe some surprising facts, from this report, the Global Dry Granulation Equipment Market. 2021-2033 Outlook from Cognitive Market Research.
Yeah, it's a detailed look.
And just to set the scene, for anyone maybe not super familiar, dry granulation is a key process. Think pharma, food, chemicals.
Right. Compacting fine powders into granules without using liquids. Crucial stuff.
Especially for anything sensitive to moisture or just for, efficient production.
Exactly.
So to give you a sense of scale, globally, this market was around, $1,177.74 million back in 2021.
Just over $1 billion.
Okay, let's unpack this. We're looking at a market that generated approximately $1,177.74 million in 2021. What does that tell us right off the bat and where are we headed?
Well, that initial number, over $1 billion, it tells you this isn't niche in terms of value. It's established tech.
Right.
And the projections, they really underscore that. The market's expected to climb to $422.3 million by 2025.
Okay.
And then keep going, hitting around $2074.32 million by 2033.
Wow, nearly double the 2021 figure over the period.
Exactly. And that works out to a global compound annual growth rate, CAG, of 4.83%.
So 4.83% globally. That sounds like steady, solid growth.
It is robust, consistent growth over more than a decade. It signals, sustained demand. But what's fascinating here is how this global growth breaks down when we start looking at specific regions. It's not a uniform story everywhere.
That's a critical point. Yeah, you see a global average, but the reality on the ground can be quite different. Let's dig into that, starting with North America.
Makes sense.
The source puts its 2021 market size at $264.99 million, and it's projected to grow to $427.31 million by 2033. The CAGR there is a bit lower, 4.06%. So what does this all mean for North America? What stands out to you in terms of specific country contributions? Is it just the U.S. dominating?
North America is definitely a mature market, like you said. That lower CAGR reflects that a bit, but it's still showing really sustained demand.
Okay.
And yes, the United States is, unequivocally the leader there. It's set to go from about $222 million in 2021 to over $353 million by 2033.
A big chunk of the North American total.
Oh, absolutely. This isn't really about explosive new growth. It's more about continuous improvement, high-value manufacturing, especially in pharma, and advanced food processing.
Right, optimization.
Exactly. But Canada's showing steady growth, too, moving from about $22 million to nearly $40 million. And Mexico goes from roughly $21 million to $34 million.
So steady across the board, really.
Pretty much. It suggests a market that really values precision, quality, efficiency.
Okay, interesting. Now let's hop across the Atlantic, Europe. The source pegs its 2021 value at $228.48 million, forecast to hit $377.53 million by 2033. Its CAGR is slightly higher than North America's at 4.34%.
Just a tick higher.
Here's where it gets really interesting. How does Europe compare? And which countries are driving its market forward?
Europe's growth is also very consistent. Like North America, it's got that strong, innovative industrial base.
Right.
It's interesting. Its overall size is a bit smaller than North America's, but that slightly higher CAGR might hint at maybe a stronger focus on R&D or specialized applications. Just a thought.
Could be.
Germany's a huge contributor there. It's projected to reach $86.83 million by 2033.
Makes sense, given Germany's manufacturing strength.
Definitely. And the UK is also key, moving from around $34 million in 2021 to over $58 million by 2033.
Okay.
Then you've got France, expected to hit nearly $45 million, Spain over $32 million, and even smaller markets, Denmark, Switzerland, Luxembourg. They're showing steady CAGRs too, mostly between 3.6% and 4.5%.
So a similar pattern overall.
Yeah. Both North America and Europe, as these mature markets, they keep evolving. It's through that incremental innovation, process improvements, and just sustained demand from those big sectors, pharma and food.
All right, steady evolution. But okay, let's shift gears because the Asia-Pacific region, the numbers here are something else.
Oh, yeah. This is where the story really accelerates.
The source highlights it as the leader, both in size and speed. It surged from $535.87 million in 2021.
Already way ahead of the others back there.
To an estimated $999.82 million by 2033. Almost $1 billion. And the CAGR is a strong 5.34%.
That's significantly higher than the global average.
This region really jumps off the page. What makes Asia-Pacific such a powerhouse in this market?
Well, this is where you really see those big global shifts playing out. It's not just about scale, though. The scale is massive. It's a huge rebalancing of global production.
How so?
You've got rapid industrialization, huge populations, a growing middle class.
Mm.
It all drives immense demand for products needing dry granulation. Think generic drugs, processed foods.
Okay.
China, no surprise, is a massive force, climbing from about $147 million to over $281 million.
Huge numbers.
But look at India. This is really striking. Its growth rate is even higher, 6.13% CAGR. It's projected to reach almost $164 million by 2033.
Wow, 6.13%. That's impressive.
It really is. It points to massive domestic market growth and an increasing role in global supply chains.
Okay, and beyond China and India?
Oh, plenty of others. Japan is significant, projected at $148.57 million. South Korea around $90 million. Australia over $41 million. And Southeast Asia as a whole is expected to reach over $73 million.
So it's widespread growth across the region.
Absolutely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, these high-growth economies in APAC present, well, huge opportunities for manufacturers and suppliers. They're fundamentally reshaping the market.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, from the powerhouse of APAC, let's swing over to South America. The numbers are smaller, but the growth looks interesting. From $63.6 million in 2021 to $116.62 million by 2033, and the CAGR is 5.17%. Pretty close to APAC's rate, actually.
It's quite robust.
So what's happening in South America? Who are the key players there?
South America definitely shows some of that high growth potential we see in APAC, just, on a different scale.
Okay.
The region's got its own industrial development happening, expanding consumer markets. Brazil leads the way, projected at over $45 million by 2033. Makes sense. Biggest economy.
Okay.
Argentina's next, around $21.4 million. Then Colombia at about $16.2 million.
And any standouts in terms of growth rate?
Actually, yeah. Chile is noted for particularly vibrant expansion. Its CAGR is 5.42%.
Oh, even higher than the regional average.
Exactly. It points to these emerging opportunities driven by economic development, especially as local pharma and food processing industries grow to meet demand.
Good to see that dynamism. Okay, 2 regions left. Let's look at the Middle East. Projections show it rising from $49.47 million in 2021 to $89.55 million by 2033. The CAGR is strong too, 5.05%.
Another region with solid growth, yeah.
The Middle East is also showing strong growth. What should we know about this region? What's driving it?
The Middle East is fascinating here because many countries are actively trying to diversify their economies, moving beyond oil and gas.
Right, investing in new industries.
Exactly. So you see significant investment in industrial capabilities, including pharma, advanced food production, and that naturally boosts demand for this kind of equipment.
Makes sense. Any specific countries leading?
Yeah, the report highlights strong performance from Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Turkey. The UAE specifically shows notable growth from about $8.5 million up to over $16 million projected.
Doubling, almost.
Pretty much. And then you have Qatar, Egypt, the rest of the Middle East, all contributing steadily. Their KGRs are generally in that 4% to 5.5% range. It really paints a picture of a region building out its industrial base.
Okay. Finally, let's turn our attention to Africa, another region with significant potential.
Right, often seen as a future growth engine.
The figures here are smaller, starting at $35.33 million in 2021 and growing to $63.5 million by 2033. The CAGR is 4.35%.
Still respectable growth.
What's the outlook for Africa, and who's leading the charge there?
Well, in Africa, South Africa stands out as the regional leader. It's expected to hit nearly $25 million by 2033.
Okay, the main hub for now.
Yeah. And Nigeria and the rest of Africa category also show steady contributions to the continent's growth.
What's driving it there? Similar factors.
It seems linked to increasing local manufacturing capacity, countries aiming for more self-sufficiency, especially in essential goods like medicines.
Right. Building local capabilities.
Exactly. So while the scale is smaller compared to, say, Asia-Pacific, that consistent CGR suggests a developing market that's steadily building its industrial muscle.
Got it. What an incredible tour. It really shows how a seemingly specific piece of equipment tells a much bigger global story.
Doesn't it just?
So, to wrap up, the global dry granulation equipment market. Healthy growth everywhere, but the story is different depending on where you look.
Absolutely.
Asia-Pacific is clearly leading in size and speed. India, China, Southeast Asia are really driving things, reshaping manufacturing.
The undeniable powerhouse region.
Meanwhile, North America and Europe, mature markets, they're showing that steady, consistent evolution, driven by ongoing demand and that focus on innovation, especially in pharma and food. Precision, efficiency seem key there.
Yep, refinement rather than revolution, perhaps.
We hope this deep dive has given you, our listener, a clearer picture of this market and maybe, just maybe, a new appreciation for how looking closely at this kind of granular data can reveal those big, sweeping global trends.
Yeah.
And this really raises an important question for you to consider.
Right. When you look at these detailed forecasts, for something as specific as dry granulation equipment, it just highlights how vital this kind of precise data is, not just for the equipment makers.
No, for everyone who relies on them.
Exactly. For strategic planning, for innovation, across all those industries, pharma, food, chemicals that depend on these foundational technologies. It shows these niche markets are actually really dynamic indicators. So the question to think about is, what other seemingly overlooked, maybe even boring markets do you think are actually poised for similar significant growth, quietly underpinning the major global trends we see?
That's a fantastic question to mull over. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive today.
My pleasure.
And we encourage you to continue your own deep dives into fascinating topics wherever you find them. Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take stacks of information, find the important nuggets, and, well, serve them up for you. Today, we're diving into the dry granulation equipment market. Our mission: to really get under the hood, understand its momentum, what's driving it, the hurdles it faces, and the trends shaping its future. Think of this as your shortcut to understanding a pretty crucial specialized bit of industrial processing.
Yeah, and what's really interesting, I think, is how vital this specific equipment is becoming. And not just in pharma, which might seem, the obvious place, but across a really wide range: food, chemicals, even nutraceuticals. So we'll help you get not just what it is, but really why it matters and its bigger implications.
Okay, let's unpack that, starting with the momentum.
No.
What's the main engine really pushing the dry granulation equipment market forward right now?
Well, a major catalyst, no doubt, is the huge demand coming from the pharmaceutical sector. Dry granulation is just critical for making tablets, solid dosage forms, especially when you've got compounds that are sensitive to moisture.
Right, moisture sensitivity is a big one in pharma.
Exactly. It gets rid of the need for liquid binders, which means better product stability, and it also improves how well the materials compress and flow.
Compressibility and flowability, okay. Key terms, man.
Yeah, crucial for making good tablets efficiently. And if you connect this to the bigger picture, global consumption of things like tablets is just climbing. So pharma manufacturers are investing heavily. These machines are becoming, well, indispensable for modern drug production.
That makes sense. Now, you mentioned it avoids liquid binders. How does it really stack up against the older methods like wet granulation? What are the core advantages?
That's a great question. A really core advantage is that dry granulation doesn't need heat or solvents. So think about substances that are heat sensitive. This method is ideal.
Okay, so less potential damage to the active ingredients.
Precisely. And also, there's no drying step involved. That dramatically speeds up the production cycle, cuts down energy use too, simplifies the whole operation, really.
Time and cost savings then. Big drivers.
Absolutely. And that makes it super attractive, not just in pharma, like we said, but also in food and chemical manufacturing. Any cleaner, more efficient processing is a top priority.
And looking beyond just the benefits for the product itself, how does this tech fit into how manufacturing is evolving overall? Is there a bigger trend it's part of?
Yeah, that raises a really important point about shifts in the industry. We're definitely seeing a significant move globally towards continuous manufacturing.
Moving away from traditional batch processing.
Exactly. And dry granulation equipment, it fits perfectly into that transition. Unlike batch methods, where you make one big lot, continuous manufacturing means uninterrupted production, better consistency, higher throughput.
Right, more streamlined.
And dry granulation supports that because it allows for real-time process control, automation. This helps industries, especially the really regulated ones like pharma, keep up those stringent quality standards while, boosting efficiency.
Okay, it sounds incredibly promising, almost like the future of making these solid dosage forms. But it can't all be smooth sailing, can it?
Yeah.
What are the significant challenges, the hurdles facing this market?
You're right, there are definitely hurdles. Probably the first major one is the high initial investment. and the operational costs. These advanced dry granulation systems, they're capital intensive.
So big price tag just to get started.
A very significant financial commitment, yeah. Not just the machine itself, but installation, training staff, integrating it with existing lines. This makes it particularly tough for, say, small to medium-sized companies.
SMEs, right?
Mhm.
Especially maybe in developing regions.
Exactly. It can be harder for them to readily adopt the technology. It's not just buying the equipment. It's the whole ecosystem around it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Sure.
Cutting edge tech is often like that. But beyond cost, are there limitations with the actual materials you can process? Does it work for everything?
That's another key point. No, it doesn't work for everything. There's a limitation really stemming from its uh, material-specific applicability. The method works best for substances that naturally compress well. Good compressibility.
Okay, so if the powder doesn't naturally want to stick together under pressure.
Exactly. For materials that really need binders to hold together, or maybe they just form poor granules without extra help, dry granulation might just not be feasible, or at least not optimal. So that does limit its adoption for certain product types.
Meaning some industries might still need to stick with wet granulation, even with its complexities.
Perhaps, yeah. Or find other solutions. It means it's not a universal fix, despite the advantages.
Right. And assuming a company does invest and it works for their materials,
Yeah,
what about keeping these systems running? You mentioned they're advanced.
absolutely. It's definitely not set it and forget it. Maintenance and technical hurdles are also critical. Dry granulation gear involves high-pressure rollers, compactors, things that are under a lot of stress.
So wear and tear is a factor.
A significant factor. Think about constantly pressing materials together. Components degrade. And maintaining that consistent granule quality, that takes routine, pretty precise maintenance. And you need skilled operators, too.
People who really know the equipment.
Yes. So for facilities that don't have easy access to experienced technicians or maybe lack a really comprehensive support infrastructure, that can lead to more downtime, maybe production issues. It's like having a high-performance car, you need the expert mechanics, too.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
A common challenge across advanced manufacturing, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Okay, so we've laid out the challenges: cost, material limitations, maintenance. How's the industry responding? What are the promising developments coming down the pike?
Well, one of the most promising things happening is the deeper integration of automation and smart controls.
Making the machines smarter.
Exactly. Things like PLCs, programmable logic controllers, basically the brains telling a machine what to do, all the way through to real-time monitoring dashboards. Operators can see exactly what's happening.
So better control, more data.
Right. And these upgrades, they don't just streamline operations, make things faster. They also really enhance traceability, quality control, and crucially, regulatory compliance.
Which loops back to why pharma finds it so attractive.
Absolutely. In those heavily regulated sectors, the kind of control and documentation is, well, essential.
Makes sense. Now, beyond pharma, which seems like its natural home, where else are we seeing this tech making significant inroads, maybe surprising places?
Yeah, definitely expanding. We're seeing increased adoption in nutraceuticals in the food industry.
Nutraceuticals, okay?
Yeah.
Like vitamins, supplements.
Exactly. Think about powdered nutrition products, maybe functional foods, dietary supplements you see everywhere now. Manufacturers are turning to dry granulation there because, again, they're often dealing with sensitive ingredients. They want to process them while preserving their integrity, avoiding heat or solvents that could degrade them.
So the same benefits apply: gentle processing for sensitive stuff.
Precisely. And its ability to produce really consistent, dust-free granules without that thermal damage. It makes it an ideal choice for companies trying to cater to that health-conscious consumer who wants high-quality, natural products.
Interesting. And one final angle, sustainability. There's a huge push globally for greener manufacturing. How does dry granulation fit into that?
It fits quite well, actually. The process itself is inherently solvent-free, which is a big plus environmentally, and it's generally less energy-intensive compared to wet granulation, mainly because you skip that whole drying step.
So greener from the get-go to some extent.
Yes. But manufacturers are going even further now. They're actively designing equipment that consumes even less power, generates less noise, has a smaller overall footprint.
Okay, so continuous improvement on the environmental side too.
Definitely. It helps companies reduce their carbon footprint while still maintaining those high operational standards, which is really a major win-win, right? Good for business, good for the environment, shows that efficiency and ecological responsibility can really go together.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's try and synthesize this. What does this all mean for you, the listener, trying to understand this space? We've seen this dry granulation equipment market is, well, growing steadily. It's propelled by tech advancements, clear demands from sectors like pharma, and also these important sustainability goals. It really shows how specialized innovation can ripple outwards.
Yeah, and while there are, real limitations, cost barriers we talked about, material suitability, the way this market is integrating with trends like continuous manufacturing and automation, plus its expanding use across different industries, it positions dry granulation as a critical part of the future of industrial processing. It's kind of silently shaping a lot of the products we encounter every day.
So what stands out to you from this deep dive? Maybe it's that hidden complexity behind something as simple as your daily multivitamin. Or perhaps the surprising ways technology is making manufacturing cleaner, faster. Maybe just realizing how critical these seemingly niche advancements actually are for global health and efficiency. We hope this has given you a valuable shortcut to being well informed, and maybe spark some curiosity for more. Until next time, keep exploring.